I knew that I would like Detective Pikachu. I thought it would be a film that I thought was okay. And then I saw it and realised that I significantly underestimated the strength of my own emotions. So Detective Pikachu is a film which right now needs absolutely no introduction. It's a film based on the Pokemon characters and we are led by Pikachu, and Pikachu is playing a detective. They are trying to solve the case of a man who is presumed dead, and Pikachu helps to solve this case alongside that man's son. When I first heard that premise, I thought that doesn't really sound like what I expected from a Pokemon themed film. I have seen the Pokemon movie and the one that came after it. I was very young at the time. I can't really remember it. And that also makes me kind of have to say here that I am coming at this film not as a Pokemon addict, not as somebody who is particularly knowledgeable about Pokemon, but I did collect the cards when I was a child. I have paid a little bit of interest to it over the years. So I'm not completely ignorant of Pokemon, but my knowledge could certainly be better. So this is directed by Rob Letterman, who's done quite a few different good films that I've enjoyed, namely Goosebumps, Gulliver's Travels. We have a really good cast here. Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu, and I will say first of all, that's not the voice that I hear for Pikachu. To me, Pikachu had a slightly higher voice, but it actually worked. It worked really well, and he was brilliant, very expressive, very emotive, very funny. Really liked Pikachu in this. Justice Smith was brilliant. There was nothing about that character, his character, that particularly stood out for me, but I thought he worked well alongside Pikachu and blended well into the narrative. And also, being a huge Bill Nighy fan, I was very happy to see Bill Nighy in this as well. Although there is something very peculiar about hearing Bill Nighy talk about Mewtwo. The development of the plot itself I thought was really good. This is not the most action-packed film. Because of the way the premise is, we don't have that many Poke battles. Now, I thought there would be a lot of Pokemon fighting other Pokemon, but actually this is set in a world where Pokemon and humans mostly live in harmony, and therefore people aren't catching Pokemon in their Pokeballs, but Pokeballs do feature, don't worry. So it wasn't quite as intense as I thought it would be, but it did develop nicely. We got little clues to the case because it's obviously a detective story. We go on this adventure, we get little tidbits of information as we go, and I think the pacing and the development of the narrative was exemplary. All of the characters were great, I don't have any issues. This kind of messes with my childhood brain because I loved Mewtwo when I was a child, and I didn't really know much about the personality of Mewtwo. I just liked the fact that it kind of sounded like a cat's cry. And Pikachu was not as soft and fluffy and adorable when he spoke. But visually, oh my goodness, visually Pikachu was absolutely gorgeous and I love him. And Bulbasaur, oh my goodness, Bulbasaur, I love Bulbasaur. I will say we didn't see as many different Pokemon as I had expected to see in this, but the ones that we did see really impressed me. A lot of them were larger than I had envisioned, which was quite interesting. And Mr. Mime was hilarious and brilliant and just everything that is right in the world. I think it's pretty evident by this stage that I have no complaints about Detective Pikachu. The question I will answer and end this video with is, who should see this film? I was worried that my Pokemon knowledge would not be good enough, that it wouldn't be high enough, that I wouldn't understand bits of it. That was not a problem at all. Certainly if you've never heard of Pokemon for some reason, it may seem like a bit of an odd film, but even then I think you could enjoy the quality of the visuals, the comedic timing, the humour. Just from start to finish, I could not take my eyes off the screen, and I liked it significantly more than I have ever expected to. We are in May, 5 months into the year. This is my favourite release of 2019.